Doormat Delivery here, checking in on a Wednesday evening. Gonna get Uber Eats and DoorDash running and see what kind of orders pop up. You know, sometimes I feel like running these gig apps, trying to get the best orders, make some dollars. It's kind of like a video game, trying to get the highest points in an efficient route and score big. Weeknights can definitely be a little slower, so we'll see how it's going. It's a little after, well, it's almost 5:30 now, so gonna see how it goes until around 8:30. I know it slows down often around that time on weeknights. And Uber Eats wants me to take a photo of myself, and they said I am me. Yippee-ki-yay. I am now online with Uber Eats. Okay, orders are coming in for Uber Eats. Want me to pick up from the Apple Store and take it 18 miles away for only $13.69. Not going to do that. I've seen that before though. Just Apple Store pickups going many miles and very low pay for those miles. Okay, another Apple Store pickup from Uber Eats. $16.50 for 33 miles. Now here's a little more reasonable. Chick-fil-A. Still not going to do it. $5.39 for 6.2 miles. And there's a match. Shopping at Walgreens. I'm not excited about going over there right now. Plus, it takes me pretty far out. Got to be careful with traffic on a Wednesday evening too. It's pretty much rush hour right now, so I got to stay off of any interstates if possible. Try to avoid any major traffic areas until things die down around 6:37. Okay, kicking it off with a $4 for one-ish mile picking up from McDonald's. Meanwhile, Uber Eats is still trying to get me to pick up this Apple Store. Actually, this is like the third different Apple Store order. Okay, Uber Eats $5.37 for 3.7 miles. Not bad. I could potentially pick that one up after I do this McDonald's drop-off. A little bit questionable double stacking here, but looks to be not too far out of the way. Okay, McDonald's was slow in getting that one ready, so that delayed me. Even got a message from Uber Eats saying it looks like I'm delayed. It looks like you're delayed, therefore we may reassign to another courier if you're unable to pick it up soon. They probably saw that I wasn't moving at all, which at least now I am moving. So we'll see what happens. I'm just kind of curious what actually happens there. And it looks like Uber Eats canceled. Yep, Uber Eats canceled mine. Now they're giving me an Apple Store again. I'm just going to have to pause Uber Eats, I think, until I can get this delivered. They're sending me a lot of things that aren't very good. Some that are okay, but I got to get this one delivered first. Definitely some traffic on the way to this drop-off. Again, this is still close to rush hour. This is not even the interstate. This is the highway heading west. So as you can probably already tell, I'm definitely a cherry picker. My acceptance rate is pretty low on both Uber Eats and DoorDash. I've never even tried for any sort of status on either one. But I did watch one interesting video. I'll have to find a link. The Dasher was explaining that she has been platinum for a long time and decided to try a week without it. I believe she's full-time DoorDash, and she significantly noticed, or at least noticed a difference in the frequency of orders that she would get offered, especially on off times, it sounded like, off-peak times, and just got better offers overall, I believe. So that was kind of interesting. I guess if you do this full time, then that would be good to have offers coming to you first. Typically, I'm driving during peak time, so I feel like there's plenty of orders to go around without me having to have a high acceptance rate. She also really prefers being able to dash now at any time, which I can understand that would be very important without having to schedule all the time if you're full time. But yeah, for me, since I'm just doing this evenings primarily, part-time, occasionally the lunchtime shift, I don't feel a need to build up to a platinum on DoorDash or a high acceptance rate on Uber Eats either. poking along here. It's supposed to be a 45-mile-an-hour road, and we're going around 10 to 0. It says 5 minutes, 2.7 miles, but at this speed, I will not be there in 5 minutes. They did make an offer, not a good one, but I went ahead and took it because it's where I was going to be driving to anyway. It was $5.70 for 5 miles, but I was going to be driving about 3 of those miles anyway. So now I'm headed up to this other McDonald's that's, well, now 2.5 miles away. So the delivery should be less than 2.5 miles after that pickup. Not a lot of money, but at least it keeps me moving and gets me back up where I want. Right, McDonald's pickup was definitely slow. And now I've got a little over a mile to get to the drop-off. Just up the road here. It does look like traffic is starting to let up. I'm actually able to make this left turn pretty quick and easy. That's good. But yeah, McDonald's and traffic have definitely slowed me down tonight.
Alright, typing out a message to him, not answering the door, so I'm telling him I'm leaving the order at the door, and enjoy. Oh, I'm sorry, I got the wrong door, don't I? Alright, I got you. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Have a good night.
You too.
Okay, another little Matt mistake there. Just had the wrong door number.
Okay, so after that McDonald's pickup, I had a few minutes of nothing great coming in. Then got one for, I think it was around $7 or $8 going 4 miles. And while I was in that establishment picking it up, I got an add-on for $11 for an additional 2 miles from 5 Guys. So definitely accepted that one, and now on my way to 5 Guys, which they often are slow. Seems like they don't begin the order or don't begin the burger part of the order until you get there and tell them you're there waiting. So the sooner you can get there and tell them you're there waiting, the sooner they'll get it done, I suppose. Okay, 5 Guys was definitely slow on the pickup, as I expected. They didn't even start the patties until I got in there. I think the buns and toppings were ready, but looks like they had to start the patties. And then the 2 milkshakes that they're part of the order, they had to refill the chocolate on one of them. By that I mean the milkshake machine. They had to refill the chocolate on it before they could make the milkshake. And the guy was struggling with a dull pair of scissors to open up a bag of chocolate mix. Anyway, I'm on the way now. 1.6 miles, no, excuse me, 2.4 miles to the drop-off of the first pickup, Fresh Chef Kitchen. On the way to that. Traffic definitely seems better. Sun has gone down, which means I'm now in black and white. While waiting in 5 Guys, I looked at the details of their order and saw that within the list of add-ons for the toppings and the milkshakes, it shows the calorie count. Not on the burgers themselves, but just on all the toppings, the mayo, the tomato, whatever they had. Bacon, I believe, was one of them. And the calories are right there. Okay. I didn't verify if these calories were correct, but at least I saw them. Okay, got the first order dropped off. So backed out of there, and now 1.5 miles to the 5 Guys drop-off with all the extra calories they can have. The sunset's getting a little bit prettier as time goes by. I'm making money, money, money. I'm making money, money, money. I'm making money, money, money. Five Guys dropped off. Customer was waiting at the door. Bad offer after bad offer. I'm just gonna go find a place to post up for a moment. Okay, ended up doing like one more order and then headed on home. It was an okay night, I suppose. It was about 3 hours of being out there, probably a good 45 minutes of waiting, and or more than that with waiting in traffic and waiting at restaurants. So earnings were slow. I think I'm going to have around $50 or so, including Uber Eats and DoorDash. DoorDash was only one order for $4, which was my first one, but then several Uber Eats after that. Not horrible, not great. I've had better, I've had worse. We'll call it good and hopefully get back out again this weekend and make some better monies. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you get a chance. All right, good night. I'm making money, money, money. I'm making money, money.